What's happening, people? It's your girl Minna. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Big up to Saeed. Locked in Saturday afternoon. Dead football on in the Premier League, but we're still here. And we've got a lot to talk about because, you know, Man United's dead. But they stay giving us stuff to talk about. If it's not Ten Hag, then it's INEOS scouting around for a potential new manager. Obviously, we've got West Ham tomorrow, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I guess Erik Ten Hag's back in the hot seat. Biryani boy, what are you telling me, man?
Yeah, listen, no biryani right now. Too early for that. But no, I'm good. Can't complain. I think when United don't play, I'm happy. So it's a sad reality. You know, we get to the chill. Our minds are just resting. And bro, Cheetah Obi Martin. Can we talk about that for a little bit as well?
I've seen enough. Bring him to the first team. I've seen enough. Hat-trick in 14 minutes in his under-18 debut. He scored in, what was it, 20 seconds of kickoff.
That's mad. Nah. I swear down, Arsenal might have fumbled the biggest bag ever. Like, generally. If he's the next whatever, like, because I think he's from Norway, isn't it? Or Denmark. Is he Denmark?
Danish. He's Danish, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Danish.
He's some European country.
Yeah.
He's Danish. He's Danish.
Wow, he's ridiculous. So let's keep him and obviously let him keep firing at under 18s. He might even move to the under 23 soon. You know what I mean?
Enough, good.
Yeah, and then you never know. Because at the end of the day, with football, you know, it's like age. When I see Lamine Yamal, when I seen there was another kid as well, Cubasso, I think it is.
Cubasso. Yeah, the centre back for Barcelona.
Centre back. You've got like sometimes when you're ready, you're ready. You know what I'm saying to you? Like he could be one of them. You know what I mean? Ready. So yeah, man.
The reason why he apparently left Arsenal was because there wasn't really a pathway to the first team for him now. So that was apparently one of the reasons why he left to come to Man United. And Man United kind of gave him this not a promise, but they sold him basically a project where he's going to come to the first team eventually. I could see him maybe like second half of the season, maybe next in pre-season, joining up with the first team and actually being a part of it. I've seen enough, man. Bring him to the United, bring him to the first team. He can put the ball in the back of it.
Now listen, alhamdulillah, we got something to kind of, you know, we got the youngsters are kind of the ones that, you know, Shea Lacey, there's a couple others as well. Like, you know, we just need to kind of, you know, look forward to the future because right now we ain't doing anything right now. So yeah.
I mean, we're not doing anything, but apparently INEOS, before we get to the West Ham stuff, let's talk about INEOS reportedly looking at new managers and the name. I'm not going to lie. The names I'm seeing, I'm like, oh my days.
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim obviously is one. Xavi is one. Thomas Frank is someone that they're heavily impressed with.
Very impressed with.
And I don't know. A lot of people, I speak to people all the time, United fans, that some of them want Thomas Frank. Some of them want Thomas Frank. Do you out of the managers United have been linked to like in the last 24 hours? Who is it that you want? Is it just Xavi or no one?
Xavi's one. I think the former Dortmund manager, I think he deserves a bit of praise, you know, and he got them to a Champions League final. You know, he's someone that I think is still young, up and coming. Yeah. I think for me, I'd consider him. I consider Uli, the one from Stuttgart, Hoeneß,
Sebastian Hoeneß.
Yeah, I think for me, it's one of them where we can't be thinking of names anymore. Like I thought Ten Hag was a guy, he didn't become it. So like I want someone that I don't have expectations on, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
someone that I don't have to be like crazily mad if we lose him or if he gets sacked or whatever. Like we can't like be attached to names in a sense. Even though Xavi is a name, but in the managerial world, he's only had one big job. So it's not as if like he's been managing for years like Ten Hag has done. So
but he had one big job, but I think he started his coaching career in Qatar.
Qatar.
So he's got a bit of experience, even though the Qatari Star Leagues is not. It's not like one of the best leagues in the world. I don't know how people turn their nose up at Xavi. Like I don't know how you can look at a manager that's actually won a. Let's be honest, La Liga versus Eredivisie. Which one do you think is the bigger?
La Liga is tougher because you got to remember. Like I remember Jaap Stam talking about. He said like you got Ajax, PSV, Feyenoord, and that is it. Like, but La Liga, you got Atletico Madrid. You still got Villarreal. You still got even Real Betis. They're a tough team, you know. So there are still tough teams in the La Ligas, you know. Okay, cool. Some of them might have fell off a little bit in terms of Sevilla, but there's still tough teams. Like people go on like the La Liga's Granada. Was it what was the team that went out? Girona last year came out where and they were doing bits last year. They came second, I think, or whatever. So there are
decent teams. There's Athletic Club. There's
Athletic
there's a lot of decent teams in
good
La
teams
Liga.
with talent. So this idea is notion is like whereas Eredivisie, let's be honest, who watches the Eredivisie? Has anyone 1 week said, I'm even watching the biggest game in Eredivisie this weekend, and that's Ajax versus PSG?
I can't lie. I watch a lot of leagues. I watch the Portuguese league more than I watch the Eredivisie. And that's just me being honest.
You see what I mean? So if I've never really said to myself, you know what, I'm watching the Eredivisie today. And that's what I'm saying in terms of competitiveness. It's not the greatest. So I think for me, when I look at the managerial appointments we've got right now, it's like I think they're low key doing it behind his back, but I'm just kind of not ready to believe it yet. It's a good source. Don't get me wrong, but something just tells me that they just want to wait until it gets to January or maybe end the season so that they don't have to pay out the money. I believe it's a payment thing.
It's a finance thing.
It's a finance thing because you would have sacked this guy ages ago if it wasn't. I generally believe it's either PSR or it's something that if we pay this money out, the Premier League will say, right, that's 20 million out of your money or whatever. And United at the minute thinking, you know what, is it worth it to sack him now? Or should we just wait until the end of the season? And they could wait till the end of the season. They could.
But do you know what? I feel like I agree with you. I don't see them sacking him for some reason. Because I feel like if they were going to do it, they would have done it off the back of the recent international break. I genuinely think that, I'm not gonna lie, Ed Woodward had his shortcomings, yeah. But if that was Ed Woodward, he would have sacked him by that international break. He would have been gone because of how bad it was and just how much worse it's gonna get. I actually think he's gonna be the manager, but I also think the implications of him staying is bigger than them saving money for PSR. They're going to lose money if United don't qualify for Champions League. They're going to lose money. If United don't qualify for top four, they're going to lose money. They're going to lose money from qualifying for Champions League, obviously, the money that comes from that. And they're going to lose money from their Adidas sponsorship for not qualifying for Champions League. So is it really worth it?
What if they think that he could win the Europa League because of his track record with trophies? That he's won a trophy.
The same Europa League that United are 21st, bro. Do you know where Nice are in the table as well? They're 32nd or something.
Nah, that's bro. INEOS
and they're 12th in the French league or 8th. They're 8th in the French league. And we're 12th.
No, I think they're not. They're lower than that. You're 12th. They're 12th.
They might be even lower than that. So both ownerships from under INEOS in Europe are not doing that well. And I've seen
Swiss League one.
Huh? Well, I don't know. Swiss League, I don't watch that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch that. But
yeah, they're ninth. They're ninth.
Look at that, 9th in the French league, and United are 12th, 13th in their league, and then in Europa League we're nearly as bad as each other. By the way, in Europe this season, United are the only English team not to win a game. Every English team in Europe, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, have won games.
I'd even go as far as saying British team because Scotland and Rangers.
Yeah, I think Rangers have won as well.
That is nuts, You know what I mean? And he's lucky we got that next team, PAOK, whatever it's called.
You're not going to try to pronounce it.
I'm never going to try now. But luckily we've got them.
You can say that. You can say he's lucky or United are lucky. But look at FC20. When we saw the Europa League fixtures, I said FC20 win. I said Porto draw, and I said Fenerbahce win. And then United went and drew every game. I said the Porto, and let's actually get to it because his comments after the game, it rattled me a little bit. It rattled me a little. I was slightly rattled because I'm still talking about it till today. That's how rattled I am. Because he said Fenerbahce and Porto getting 2 points out of that shows that Man United are a difficult team to beat.
Oh my god!
I actually nearly lost it when I saw that.
You know, I will say this today. It's the mentality of what he's saying. I think it's for me, you can't really take anything from that because we're in the 3rd season. If you'd have said that in the 1st season, I'd be like, you know what, fair enough. You know what I mean? That is true. He's got to speak in that way because it's his 1st season. But in your 3rd season against a Jose Mourinho team who, let's be honest, they've got some good players and that, but United, you wouldn't really swap many players in that team to our team, would you? Yeah. So it's we know what we are, but yet you're still gassing up the other team. Like, why are you gassing up the other teams for? Like, Porto lost 2 of their big players this summer. You know what I mean? They lost their leader as well in the back in Pepe. Like, bro, it's not the same Porto as last season when they were in the Champions League, bro. So what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And this is the thing for me. He's just, for me, bare manipulative now. You know, and he's actually
manipulative
now, Mino, I genuinely believe he's speaking as if he wants to get sacked. He wants to get sacked, Mino. He's saying, yo, sack me. I've said that I deny the game.
Yeah.
Bro, oh my. You know what's mad, yeah? He's very, very careful that he said the word deny. I swear down to you. If you'd have said, I don't count that game, and I don't...
That would have been worse.
That's what I'm saying. But the fact that he said deny is literally symbolic of his whole reign, where he's done something just enough not to get sacked. Like, he's literally not lost that one game, or he said that one thing. And it's like, if you're an Erik Ten Hag in a year, you're looking at that, bro, how do you really feel? Like, do you just back him blindly and say, yo, like, cool, the manager said don't think about that 3-0. And the maddest thing is, Milo, had we played well, I would have said, you know what? This is even, I'm not even trying to say that I would have agreed with him. But we literally looked better with 10 men. Actually, better with 11. Let me get my water 1 second.
All right. While Saeed gets his water, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. If you want to show some love to the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, and we'll run through it. Let me see what you lot are saying in the chat. Travis says Casemiro had a good run of games, benched. Amad won player of the month, then gets benched. Rasmus scores 2 out of 3 starts, then benched. Xerxes on poor form but starts. Mazraoui as a 10. Erik Ten Hag out. Let's actually talk about the Mazraoui and the 10 thing, because I was saying before the game, I said this is one of the stuff that if it works, everyone will be like, wow, yeah, amazing. And if it doesn't work, everybody's going to get onto him. But I'm more mad at the fact that he did that, because I think you would have to use another substitution unnecessarily in the game to put Mazraoui back into his position, which is what he did straight in the second half. He took off Lindelof, brought on what's it called? Who did he? I can't even remember who he brought on, but Lindelof came off. Leach went back to centre back. Mazraoui came on. Hoyland came on for Xerxes as well. And I just felt like it was so. And Casemiro came on.
Casemiro came on. Yeah,
unnecessary, and that's no criticism to Nazir Mazraoui, because I think he's a good player. But equally so is him justifying it by saying, not only did Erik Ten Hag say he's played there for me before, he's barely played there. He also said, by the way, that he used to play as a 10 and he turned him into a fullback. He said, I turned him into a fullback. He used to play in the 10. But then he went on to say, a hostile environment like Fenerbahce, we couldn't go there with 4 attackers. And this is why I'm saying that is gaslighting, because if Bruno was available, you can't tell me Bruno would have been benched.
No way.
He wouldn't have been benched. So you would have went with 4 attackers. You would have went with 4 attackers.
Man, he's just a liar, man. Like, my thing is with the Mazraoui thing is that I look at it from my point of view is like, we should never have let him get off with it regardless. Like, you know when we're talking about it pre-game, everyone wants to analyze, well, it's not that, it's not this. The fact that he told us that he's going to play in the 10 is, we should have kicked off from that point there. You know? Like, we literally allowed him to say, oh, but what if he pulls it off? And I was like, are you taking a piss? Are you literally like, because for me, it's like you're getting beyond the piss take, because you got Eriksen there who could have played that 10. Amad could have played that 10, right? And you could have literally had a balanced team. Instead, which I think, and I said it on the show yesterday with Liban and Abs, he did it to man-mark Amrabat. Did you watch the game where he was literally walking alongside Amrabat to stop his rhythm, then realized that, hey, Amrabat's actually not that bad, and he was still doing his thing. So my thing was, I generally thought he did it for a man-mark role, because he respects Amrabat and knows what he's capable of doing. So for me, it's like, I just don't like what he's trying to do now. He's trying to get himself to sack. That could have went horribly wrong against Fenerbahce.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Nana,
oh my God. And then, this is the thing though. For me, it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you there to just sabotage? Are are you like, what are you trying to do, bro? Because it doesn't even come from a tactical mindset. It doesn't come from oh, you know what, that looks bad. If you're not a footballing person, you'd be like, you know what, that actually might work, you know. It never gave me that idea, or many United fans, that it would work, you know. And the stats proved it. He literally had one involvement in the play, and that was it.
Who, Mazraoui?
Mazraoui, yeah.
I saw a map of basically all his touches across the pitch. All his touches came predominantly when he went to left back. When you look at the central part, nothing. I think he had like 3 or 4 touches altogether in the midfield area when he was playing in the 10.
Wow.
Again, and that's no criticism to him, because to me, that's a guy playing out of position. That is a guy playing out of position. So I can't criticize him. He probably tried to do his best. But for me, the biggest kind of question marks are now, because I've seen people saying Fenerbahce was good result, a point away from home. I think if Man United had won like the 2 games before that, people might feel like it's a good point away from home because of the hostile environment, because United don't necessarily do good in Turkey. But looking at the results leading up to that game, that's not a good result. A point is not a good result. Mathematically, United still can finish in the top 24 of the Europa League. And I'm sure if Man United go on to win the Europa League, people won't care about where they finished.
Yeah.
But I don't think people will care about that.
100%. 100%. They won't care
about no one's going to care. So for me, it's like, if Man United, there's no way people think Fenerbahce point is a good point. Porto is a good. Erik Ten Hag saying after the game, it's a good point. It shows that no one, like, we can't be beaten. That's the wildest thing I've heard.
And also, what it does is it just gives everyone that kind of mindset. Like, you know, for people who are watching the game, they'll be like, "Oh, yo, the manager said it's a good point. Why are you not going mad for? Like, it's a good point, guys." Like, no, it's not. No, it's not a good point. Like, for me, it's like the way the game panned out, you know, we never looked like we're going to score. It was boring. It was not great to watch. And it was just like, it lacked inspiration. You'd rather go for it, you know?
I would rather sleep watching rather than watch the game. Like, United games are boring. Let's be honest. When was the last time United games have been exciting to watch? It's been quite boring. I mean, look at the record in Europe, 1 in 11 wins. That for me is nearly as bad as.
It's very, very bad.
Like, I was asking my chat the other day, do you think, and you lot in the chat get involved as well, do you think United are worse than where they were this time last season?
But you know what it was? You could say because there just should have been an improvement. So from where last season where we were, it was a massive not improvement from the season before. But I think it's true. It's not. There's no improvement because we've actually gone worse.
I feel like United have regressed. Yeah,
we've regressed because you got to look at other metrics of how we've regressed. We're not scoring as many goals. We're 12th in the league. We still don't have a style of play. We actually not enjoying it even more. Like, your feelings get worse like a year after. Like, you actually, like, Miller, people are saying I didn't watch the game. Like,
Adi. No, it's normal now to be like, I didn't watch the game.
I didn't watch the game. So that's what I'm saying. So last year we weren't at that stage last year. I don't think so. Like, this time last year, we won against Copenhagen. You know, that was our last away game, win at home. So you got to remember, exactly, we're numb to it now. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're numb to it. And the biggest thing is, like Lil Yo says, we're not scoring goals. Like, you know, that's the biggest side. Like, we're scoring 1 or 2 a game, and that is it, or 1 either way. Like, it's a 2-1, or it's you know, it's a 1-1, or is it 0-0, or it's. And someone put a chart up there. They say, "Yo, we're actually unbeaten in the last, I don't know how many games." And I was just like, but then when you look,
because they're going off of all the draws.
All the draws, and I'm like, bro, draws are like, people don't realize this. Draws are worse than losses, you know, because you build up draws, but then you win, let's say 2. It's actually more beneficial, you know. So
I think draws are worse, especially if you're the one that's throwing away the lead, which 9 times out of 10 it is United doing that.
It's United, exactly.
Because if United are like, if we drew against, for example, Porto, and we drew against Porto, but if we came back from 2-0 down to get a point, everyone will be like, that's a good point because we were losing 2-0. But it's the fact that United threw away a 2-0 lead, And the same with Fenerbahce, the same with, during the Champions League, Galatasaray, etc. All of that is literally because United are always throwing away leads, which means they can't really see a game out. And the whole scoring goals thing, United couldn't find the back of the net if they had a bonus clause in their contract. If every player had a bonus clause. Did you see Diogo Dallo's cutback? Yes, against Fenerbahce.
Yeah,
because I've seen people trying to justify
I blame
it.
Rashford for some reason, but now I'm blaming Dalot.
Why did you blame Rashford?
Because I thought, for me, Rashford just didn't connect with it, and I was like, that was a good chance right there. So maybe it was me. I don't know. At that time, my head was hot, man. I was just blaming.
Yeah, in the moment you're thinking, but in the moment when I saw that, I was like, that's a poor pass. That is a poor.
Also, you could have played it to, was it Højlund or Garnacho that was in the middle as well? There was someone else.
It was Højlund. Højlund was literally bursting through the middle. Like, he was going mad when he went for the cutback instead of playing it across goal for him.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like, I can't lie, I thought it was Rashford's fault, but yeah, I take that one back then. So
let's talk about Amad, because he's obviously the biggest topic of discussion.
Yeah,
right now. Is he still airing your messages?
Yeah, still airing it. To be fair, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The person I spoke to, who knows him, said he's very, very like off social media. Like he barely like checks his phone in terms of like he's very reserved. He don't like to be on social media. He don't really like to kind of he likes to have his quiet time. So I get it. It comes from his character, but
there's nothing wrong with that, man. In a day and age where social media is toxic for footballers.
Yeah,
so
no, 100%.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When you can't even at someone on Instagram, or you can't even do anything.
It's abuse. I like Instagram is. I think in Instagram and Twitter, when it comes to like players getting abused a lot, it happens. Like, it's
worse, Have you seen
Instagram? I have to turn off my for me, people who don't follow me or I don't follow can't DM me because, bro, I get abused all the time. So imagine footballers.
Yeah.
Imagine footballers. They get it 10, 20 times worse.
Yeah.
So I hear it. Hopefully he replies to your messages. But let's talk about Amad. Let's talk about Amad because obviously the biggest topic of the discussion during the Fenerbahce game, after the Fenerbahce game, he was livid on the touchline. Anthony coming on ahead of him. And then I'm going to say it like this. I think Erik ten Hag contradicted himself but he does it a lot. I feel he contradicted himself after the game when he said Anthony is one of the best players in training and he's training hard, so he deserves to come on. He deserves a chance because about 6 months ago, around March, April times, when Amad wasn't playing, he said Amad is training well, but there's players that are performing better in games ahead of him, so he needs to wait for his moment. And then I think in the summer, he spoke about him during preseason. I think it was after Rangers game, and he was like, Amad is one of the senior players. He's not a young player. And I think it's kind of harsh to label him as a senior player because when you look at the United squad, he's one of the most inexperienced one out of everyone because he hasn't even cracked 100 career games for United yet.
And he's been there since 2020,
Yeah, he's been
there for a hot minute. Obviously, he's had a couple of loans and whatnot. My thing is like, it's the fact that Ten Hag's a coward for not going up to him and consoling him and saying, yo, sorry I didn't play you, but this is your time to shine in it. Like, come on, man. He went and told Rennie Hack to do it. And it's like, it really pissed me off the way Rennie Hack and them were trying to just, I don't know.
Console him. But that's you know what? I said this on Twitter and someone said to me, I'm picking at things because they were like, that's the job of the coaching staff to go and just, Erik ten Hag was too locked into the game and he doesn't want to get distracted. But I think when there's clearly like there's a negative, I want to say, taste in a lot of fans' mouths about this Amad versus Ten Hag thing. So you could literally just nullify the rumors and the kind of conversation just by going over to him and just a pat on the head, a pat on the shoulder, just say, come on, because he's coming on with 5-6 minutes left of the game. Fenerbahce officials or the Fenerbahce staff were apparently shocked that he didn't play. And they were scared when he came on because he immediately won the free kick for United, which landed for nothing.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And when he came on, he instantly took his man on and beat him and they got fouled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, I think, what the man, this is what I'm saying about the Sancho situations. That this is why I never believed the manager. Never. When he talked about training, I said, everyone just said, yeah, but if the manager doesn't see training, we got to believe it, guys. And I was like, you lot, I swear down, man. Why are you taking this manager's word as gospel?
Now I look at the Sancho thing and I'm happy Sancho left. because
no,
I
100%.
always said I wanted, like, it was better for his environment, for himself to leave, right? But now I look at the Sancho thing and think, why would I, like, it's like, at work, if you lot have a job, if you work in industry, if you work in corporate world, whatever, if you continuously get passed up for a promotion and other people are always being promoted, you're going to start to think, you know what? I ain't getting promoted, so I ain't going to work. I'm going to come to work and do the bare minimum.
Bare minimum,
I
yeah,
don't encourage
basically.
it, but I understand it because
Yeah,
I've been in that position before once.
yeah.
So I'm looking at now other players, if they're not performing well in training, etc., etc. Is there a correlation between not working hard in training and never starting? Like,
Yeah.
what is the correlation for the players at United for that? Because Erik ten Hag, I think he likes familiarity. Once he figures out a player can do something for him, he will persist with it. Christian Eriksen went from barely playing last season to playing non-stop.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I mean? So, but he's only figured that out for now. Same way with the situation with this 4-4-2. He's only doing this because it works for now. Then he'll go back to the 3-1-6 whenever he feels like doing it. So I'm just like, when this trade, and the maddest thing is, Miller, yeah, go and check the quote literally a month ago talking about Anthony's trading and saying it's not up to scratch.
Yeah. So something has changed apparently in the space. I'm not gonna lie, Anthony can train as hard as he wants, and I'm actually upset that he's injured because, again, that just leaves Man United with one less option. Like, a lot of options are better than no options when it comes to the bench,
Yeah.
right? But I look at Anthony and I look at Amad, and I think, and this is why I actually think Erik ten Hag was happy with the draw, because, again, he justified it after the game. He said it's a hostile environment. To get a draw is a good thing. I actually think he looked at the bench and he thought, I'm going to go with Anthony because he's more defensive minded.
Yeah.
And that way we can see out the game, because United are scared to concede. I don't think they wanted to go for that final punch. And that is where I think Manchester United have become mediocre. I feel like Erik ten Hag has turned Manchester United into a mid-table team where they're happy to walk away with a point. They're happy to just be there to compete, but not to win.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's levels of improvement, and there's levels of kind of like, where you want to be. Like, second season is surely the season where you say, right, we make an approach of we're hard to beat, we're difficult to beat, but then we're still trying to, improve our game. Third season, we're still talking about playing not to lose. Happy with draws.
Erik ten Hag plays not to lose, but he's happy with draws. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, because it means that he can pull his narrative out and say, well, I'm unbeaten. Well, what are you talking about? I'm not getting beat. We're not scoring. We're not conceding as many shots, to Onana's goal. What are you man saying about that?
Did you see what he said after the game?
He blamed the players, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me, it's not even the players. He singled out young players, and this is why, again, I said he contradicts himself.
Who's young though?
Who's young in that team except for Garnacho? Was the only young player that started. There's no one else that's young. Garnacho's 20. He's not even young.
Garnacho, you would say, is like he's been played. It's not a young player in terms of he's young like his age, but in terms of like playing wise, you wouldn't say like he's inexperienced.
Xerxes not young either. Xerxes like 22. 23. Yeah, it's his first season, but he's not young. Erik ten Hag, if you lot don't know, after the game, he said, we got the tactics right, but he was like, players need to learn in-game management. We had young players and they basically make mistakes and they need to learn from this. And I was looking at that thinking, who is the young players that played? Because I didn't see academy players playing. I didn't see Toby Collier. I didn't see Shea Lacey. I didn't see Harry Amass. I didn't see all these young players. There was no one of young quotation mark. And when I think of a young player, I think of an inexperienced player, like a player that's in their first or second year in the first team. There was nobody like that in the first team.
But this is what I'm saying, like. Hansi Flick's playing young players, and he's still getting results. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think for me, it's just excuses. Like, he's just throwing people under the bus. Like, and I hope they actually remember this, man, like, because it's so bad. And you know what it is? Yeah? If it was like one-off game, I would have said, you know what, cool, players, they let the manager down. But we're talking about 10, 11 games. Of you speaking like this, you saying, and I'm just, bro. Is there a press conference coming up for this game? Because it might be an embargo.
No, that was the one that came out yesterday. So what they did is, because it was Europa League, what they do is they do the press conference for the Fenerbahce game, and then straight after they do the one for Sunday. but then they embargo it so it comes out Friday. So the journalists that were there couldn't speak. So that is where he came out and he said about the Spurs thing, about how he's basically not thinking about that. Because
I bet we're gonna get a Mullock story tonight as well. By the way,
you think so?
I'm telling you now, we're gonna get a Mullock story tonight, guys. Make sure you're ready. Around about 6-7 o'clock, yeah, we're gonna get Mullock saying that Ten Hag's not happy with INEOS and their whole, the way they do. They're basically stabbing him behind the back and that, and he feels uncomfortable, and that's the reason why he feels unsettled, and the results haven't been the same. Watch. Guys, yeah, I said it here first tonight. Mullock's story, because that's his guy, innit? That's where he gets his information from. So, but you know what it is? It's like these press conferences over time. Like I've just never watched him. Never. I just see.
Yeah, I get to a point I don't want to, and I can't avoid it because you go on Twitter and you just see bare quotes from his press conference, so you can't avoid it. You always have to read it. But yesterday, I actually had to go watch the press conference to see, word for word what he said about the Spurs thing. Because I read it and I thought this can't be what he said. And then
even his logic behind it is like, it's like, bro, with 10 or 11 men, you got to remember, like, they were battering us, Miller. Like, we barely created anything. We had one Xerxes chance. Like, this is the problem. When 3-0 becomes a norm, and then you don't get battered 4-5-0. Oh, okay. Say now we got battered 4-0. Would he have still said that? Or is it just because it's
probably would have? Because if that red card, his whole argument was that the red card was overturned. So basically, that kind of impacted the game. But Man United with 10 men were playing with better. Like when Bruno came off, United looked a bit more decent. But also, I could say, if Spurs didn't have Werner and they had Son on the left, different story. Those chances that fell to Werner, different story. It would have been if it fell to Son.
Different story.
Different story.
This is what I'm trying to say. But people are just not getting it. Like, it's so sad, when you deep it. And what's crazy about it for me is like he's become unlikable. It's personal, Like,
how is that? Don't make it personal.
No, genuinely it's personal now, Miller, because it's like I don't like him. Like, I never not liked Ollie because Ollie did stuff for the club. So it was one of them where I was frustrated the fact that it was a lot of sentiment involved. I genuinely don't like the guy.
You don't know him personally. You just is it just based off of how he perceives himself to the public?
Yeah. I genuinely don't like the guy. Like that's why for me, when I was in Old Trafford tour, I didn't go near him. I didn't want to. I'm not one of them where I'll beg it and that. Like can I get a picture at 10? Well, I didn't go near him, man, because I was like, I don't like you, bro.
That's the unfortunate circumstances that United fans find themselves in now.
Yeah,
I personally, for me, it's not personal with Ten Hag. I just don't think.
Did you feel like that about Mourinho?
I love Mourinho. People will tell you in the chat, I love Jose Mourinho. Like for me, Jose Mourinho, when he's not at your team, I love him. Like for me, he is pure. He's pure cinema, box office. At United,
did Mourinho apart from when he said about trophies, heritage and all that,
no, but that's iconic. He's spitting facts.
Yeah, he's spitting facts in his own way. But when I see man saying, "Me and Mourinho won trophies," and then
that was funny. That's funny though.
But then people will say to me, "Well, he's right because he's won more trophies than Mourinho in the last couple of years." But I'm like, it's not.
Mourinho won the treble. Wallahi, Ten Hag could only dream to win the treble with that Porto team. He could only dream to do that.
It's how you say it. It's how you say it. It's what you're trying to say. I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say me and Mourinho won trophy. And then obviously everyone clips it up in it. And he knows.
It is funny. It is funny when you think about it. Even with like Jose. The only reason why I started to dislike Jose, and I'm going to keep it a buck, is because I was a Pogba stan. That's when I started to dislike him. That's when. But for me, Jose, when it comes to managerial achievements of that, they're cut from two different cloths. I think Erik ten Hag is not in that category of the Joses and the Peps and all of these managers that he likes to bring up in press conferences.
You went to the Tottenham game as well, didn't it?
Huh? No. I went to the Liverpool game, bro.
Oh, I was going to say, imagine, you
I was going to go to the Spurs game. I gave my ticket away. I was meant to go. Alhamdulillah, I didn't.
Come Chelsea game, innit?
I might I'll
Yeah,
shout you because I
Chelsea.
might come.
Chelsea's a good game to go to.
Even though with that,
I'm more confident for Chelsea than I am for West Ham.
you're confident for Chelsea.
Yeah, more than West Ham.
Why are you confident for Chelsea? What aside
We
from the
always
fact
beat
they've
them
beaten us in like 10+ years.
because we never lose to them. We never lose to Chelsea, no matter how bad we are.
So that is the only thing. But you can say the same about Spurs. United don't really lose to them, except for when I think it was Mourinho when we got walloped. Oli,
Yeah, but to be fair, they've won about 3 or 4 times in the past 10, 11 years. Whereas Chelsea, we've literally never lost to them in over 10 years. Last time they won was Quan Mata, remember?
Yeah,
that was time ago.
I look at the Chelsea game and I'm more frightened about like Nicholas Jackson. For me is always like if he's good like he was against West Ham a couple of weeks ago for Chelsea, then he can score goals. For me, if Man United can take Cole Palmer out of the game, I'm confident.
Last season, let me check their team last season when they played us because I want to see what they look like. Levi Colwell got cooked by Anthony that game.
Yeah, he did.
United went 2-1 in it and sucked my
Don't you remember the game at Stamford Bridge as well? The 4-3. Again, that was basketball football. That was literally just chaotic ball.
Oh yeah, McTominay scored.
And I feel like McTominay scored a double. He nearly had a hat-trick at home last season.
Our team was Onana, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, McTominay, Amrabat, Anthony Fernandez, Garnacho, Højlund.
So it's still pretty much similar. Maybe there's a couple of players different for United this season. But I can't look at Chelsea, and be like they're the same Chelsea last season because they're not.
Yeah.
They're not the same Chelsea. Maresca has them playing decent
football. You know what? It's not the same Chelsea. Look, Sanchez, Cucurella at right back, Disasi, Thiago Silva, Levi Colwell, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Raheem Sterling was on the right, Cole Palmer was in the 10, Mudryk was on the left, and Jackson was up front.
There you go, then.
Wow.
You go. And you're saying you're confident for that game, but you're not. Are you confident for West Ham game?
Yeah, no, I'm not confident for West Ham game, no. But I think we'll win, though. I think we'll win.
Do you think United are going to... Because West Ham, I was saying this a couple of days ago, West Ham don't score. West Ham, concede a lot of goals, and United don't score.
Yeah, that's
so it could actually be a 0-0.
But it could be. It could be. But I just think for me, I've got a feeling that their defense is going to turn into prime whatever. You know what I mean? And Wan-Bissaka, if Wan-Bissaka plays against Garnacho, forget that. Like Wan-Bissaka's going to win that battle. Garnacho's got no chance. That's why I believe Rashford should go on that left-hand side and cause a bit of problems. But
I'm tired of Rashford on the right. I like Rashford on the right, but I just don't think you should accommodate for Garnacho. Erik ten Hag shouldn't be accommodating Garnacho by playing Rashford on the right-hand side. He's trying to turn Rashford into this playmaker. I don't know if you realize, but he's trying to turn Rashford into this playmaker and try to take the scoring or the ability to score out of him. Which
I've seen that. I don't get that at all. Like, what are you doing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? But I think for me, he's obviously accommodating Garnacho at the minute, and the goal will help him massively because it'll kind of solidify him on that side, for at least a good few games until something happens. You know what I'm saying? Which, I think for me, the front three right now that starts weekly now will be Rashford, Højlund, and Garnacho. That will be the front three.
Zirkzee, where do you stand with him?
Listen, I think for me, he's just a scapegoat right now in a minute because
I think he is.
You know what it is. You know what the funny story I'm thinking about is with Xerxes is that we were all thinking the same thing about Højlund last year, and we were all in up in arms. Højlund's not that guy. He's not scoring goals. What's going on with him? He's getting bullied, and everyone's going mad. And I was one of the people that was saying, "Yo, everybody, relax, man, chill, man, give him time, man. What's wrong with everyone?" So this is what I'm saying, like. We are just blaming the problem, but not looking at the actual greater issue that is, the system that we're playing in. There's no attacking rhythm. They don't really connect with each other. They're actually selfish towards each other, apart from Rashford. Garnacho's the one that's selfish. He
is a very selfish winger. Like, no one can tell me he's not selfish. And I don't mind if you're selfish if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, because you're going to score. But you're not Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'm tired of it, actually, people comparing him to Ronaldo when he was young. Like, people are always, I don't know if you see, people always compare him to when Ronaldo was younger. When he was raw and developing. But equally so, look at the team that Ronaldo was playing in. Look at the team he was playing, and it got to a couple of seasons, and he was the best player when he's playing with people like Rooney, Scholes, Giggs, Tevez, etc. So I'm tired of people comparing him, and that's why I say Garnacho's too selfish, and Amad when he plays is not selfish enough.
Exactly.
They need to switch.
They need to switch, or they need a little bit of, I don't know. It's so tiring. But with the Zek situation, is that could he play better? I'm not denying that. You know what I mean? I think he could, but I'm just like, I'm tired of blaming players when they come in and just, it's a failure straight away after what, 2 months, 3 months. Why is it always the players that are failures? What? Let's look at the bigger problem. What am I United doing to help them? Havertz, when he came to Arsenal, everyone deemed him shit.
But you know why I think Havertz worked at Arsenal though? Arsenal had a system.
Yeah, there you
go. His profile fitted the system that Arteta wanted. Arteta doesn't if you look at the strikers he's had over the last couple of years, they're not like traditional nines, right? No, even though they wanted to, even Benjamin Sesko is not. I don't think he's a traditional nine. I don't think he's a Haaland, a Kane, etc. But he's good. And I think Kai Havertz just took a bit of time to grow into that Arsenal team because that system is there. It's like, again, guys, you got a job, yeah? Say you work in the corporate world. You start a new job. If the training facilities are not in place, you ain't going to learn how to use the systems. You ain't going to learn how to do anything. So the system has to be in place to kind of fit your profile for you to be utilized. And I remember when United signed Mason Mount and Arsenal signed Havertz. And I was talking to one of my cousins who's Arsenal fan. And I was saying, you know what? Havertz might be the better signing than Mount coming to United. And my cousin was like, nah, Havertz is shit. I don't want him, blah, 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 blah. Now, look how tables have turned.
Yeah. I bet he's loving him.
Yeah, no, they love him. They got a whole song for him, man, even though they stole it from him. Yeah.
Has Mason Mount got a song? David Love has got a song.
He ain't been on the pitch long enough to have a song.
That's crazy.
And he's another one that I don't know if you saw, but Erik ten Hag said he might not be back when they thought. They said that he'd be back in November. They're now saying it actually might be like Christmas. He might be back.
No way.
Yeah, they were saying in the press conference he was saying he's had a setback in return, and that's basically a couple of more weeks added to it.
He might be cooked, He might be finished.
He's finished. I think his body is finished. Like, I don't know what's happened. And that's the thing. Is there any Chelsea fans that can tell us what exactly happened in his last season at Chelsea?
Yeah, let us know, Chelsea fans, man.
How did he go downhill that quick?
Is it because I think someone told me, was it Matisse? He was pressing a lot in that Tuchel system. He was playing pretty much every game for the past 4 years in that lockdown period.
Yeah.
He became this pressing monster and his body's just cooked.
Yeah, his body is beyond cooked. And he's not even that old. That's the worst thing.
He's like 25.
Yeah, he's like 25. He should be approaching his prime years now.
And Reece James is similar when you deep it, when you actually look at it, cool, his quality, but will his body be the same? Can you rely on Reece James anymore? It's a big question,
That is a big question. Big up to Black Sheep with the super chat. Says Chelsea question mark. Erik ten Hag has broken every unwanted record. Saeed. And big up to Donna, newest member in the community. Listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through, and be sure to subscribe as well. Join the membership club if you want. It's the pin comment in the chat, and you can send in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love to the channel. Injuries, because we're talking about Mason Mount, so let's talk about injuries. Erik ten Hag did reference injuries.
What injuries though? Can we just verify these injuries, please? There
are a lot of injuries.
Can we but let's note the importance of these injuries. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think you look at, because Erik ten Hag said he said a couple of months ago when I had a full squad and a starting 11 that I wanted, basically you could see what we were good. But a couple of months ago we were losing to Liverpool, to Brighton, to Spurs. And you look at that starting 11, I actually think the only person that is missing from those starting 11s were Højlund, because I think Højlund is his preferred striker.
I'll give you Højlund.
And maybe Luke Shaw. But that's like a question mark on it. Everybody else, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Diallo, Licha, Onana, Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho. These are all players traditionally who would have started under him. And now he's said the whole injury.
Yoro. Okay, cool.
Yoro, do you think Yoro would have started though? He's gonna say that he's a young player. He needs to.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, I would. Yeah, he needs time to adapt, etc., etc. Yeah, cool. So he probably would not have started. Mainoo's only not fit right now, but he's not been He's been playing more games than he's not been playing games.
And and fans are turning on him. This is what I said last season when everyone was ripping into Casemiro. I said, put anyone in that midfield. It's only a matter of time before people turn on Kobe Mainoo. It's
I
only
know 100%. I know this fan base. But also the Mainoo injury is because of Ten Hag.
He's unnecessarily played him. Even Garnacho playing 90 minutes against Fenerbahce. I pointed this out after the game. He played 90 minutes against Fenerbahce with a bandage thing on his leg, like a strap on his leg.
That. Everyone was talking about that. Faz was saying that as well.
For me, that's mismanagement, because you're telling me you got a young player that just withdrew from international duty last week and you play them for 90 minutes again.
It's negligence at the highest form, when you deep it.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Do you see it getting better?
I think for me, we'll win against West Ham, but then we don't know what's going to happen against Chelsea or even Leicester in midweek. You know what I mean? I'm not going to that game, but I think for me, you don't know if you're going to win or lose that game. You know what I mean?
Why are you not going to the game? It's got that bad that you don't want to go to the game?
Oh, are you mad? Wasting my time. Watch Carabao Cup. Nah, not for me. If anyone wants my ticket, let me know. I'll give you for free.
Shout him, guys. Shout him if you want his ticket.
Yeah, if you got a membership or anything like that, just let me know and I'll give it to you for free. But yeah, I ain't wasting my time, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And I only live literally 30 minutes away, you know what I mean, in terms of walking to Old Trafford. And even I don't want to go to there. You know what I mean? So for
crazy
me,
how walking is so like normal up north. Like you lot just
we don't really. Yeah.
If you told me it's 30-minute walk from my house to the stadium, bro, I'm taking an Uber. I ain't walking.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, it's like therapy, and I just put podcasting. So what I do is now, it's like I get my mind away from United. So if I get there fast, then it's not great for my mind, innit? So what I do is
walk slow.
I walk slow, put my podcasting, act like we're not playing a game today, and then when I get there, I'm like, oh, United. Okay, cool. Now time to lock in. So that's why I just take my time. That's why now today I'm like, I'm happy there's no football games on. I'm happy to watch Champions League tonight or whatever.
I remember I went to a game once, United game, and I parked. I was in Moss Side.
Yeah.
How far is that from Old Trafford?
Similar, like literally 30.
Yeah,
30.
so I parked there. I ate in that strip, that road where all the restaurants are.
Yeah,
and then
Winslow Road. Yeah, Winslow Road.
Yeah, Winslow Road. And then I thought, okay, let me head to the stadium. I opened up my maps. It said 30-minute. Well, I ordered an Uber. And the Uber driver said to me, when I got in the Uber, he said, sister, there's so much traffic. Why don't you just walk to the stadium? I said, I don't want to walk.
Yeah, I know. It's mad. But like I said, it's one of them where, for me, I look at what would right now. I think for me, is he'll win. He'll win on Sunday. I think it might not be. We might lose. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. I think they're just shit, so we'll beat them. I mean, by default.
And they conceded a lot of goals, like 2, 3, 4 goals a game.
Yeah. Let me check if there's anyone not available for them, because
it's just
normally,
Kudus.
Huh?
It's just Mohamed Kudus is not available because he got sent off last week.
So everyone else is fit then, yeah. So
pretty much everyone else, yeah.
Carlos Soler will play, and all of these players, and I think it's true. Like when you deep it, it's like Tadibo. He was being rubbish apparently.
Did you watch him against Spurs?
Yeah, he was terrible.
He was cooked. I can't lie. I saw, but also I can't. I think it's kind of harsh for me to like. They just looked bad. With the whole West Ham team looked bad that day.
Yeah,
they just looked bad.
I look at it, I'm like, yo.
And by the way, sorry to interrupt you. This is a manager that is on sacking. Yeah, he's on sacking watch, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
he's only 3 points behind United.
I know.
So if they win,
they're level on points. Fulkrug's out.
Fulkrug's out as well. But if they win, they're level on points with United. And this is the same manager that is reportedly he could be the first manager to be sacked in the league.
No, Leicester not. Nottingham Forest are 5th in the league. They're 5 points clear of us, I think, or 6.
When it's so sad because when I look at, obviously by default you look at Arsenal, City, all of them kind of teams, yeah. But that's not the teams we should be looking at when it comes to match days. No. Like we should be looking at Forest. It is very sad. Well, like
if Arsenal lose and we win, 3 points behind them. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if United lose, or this is the thing for me. Tomorrow is 3 points. I don't care how. I don't care when. United need 3 points because generally speaking, if any of the teams around United, Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, West Ham, it's peak. it's peak. If Everton win as well, they can be level on points with us.
Yeah, Everton win, against Fulham. And then Fulham win as well. It's, Brighton as well. If they win today, Brighton, Let me just look at the table.
They can go up to around top 4, depending on Villa result.
16, 8, they'll be at 18. They'll be third in the league.
And what's funny is people are talking about Chris Wood because he scored yesterday. He's got the same number of goals as United in the league.
I know. 18, that'd be, wow. They'll be like 7 points ahead of us.
It's bad. I don't think people are fully deep in how bad it is. That's why I said by the end of this month, I could fully say, you know what, season's done for United. The season is actually done. Because the bigger that the gap gets, not even between us and Villa and Arsenal.
Win tomorrow.
The bigger the gap gets between Brighton, Chelsea, Tottenham and United, it's going to be harder for United to claw back. It's going to genuinely be harder for United to claw that back.
Wow, man, we're cooked, We're actually cooked.
How are you just deep in that now?
Yeah, I'm just deep in life. Deep in life.
I don't know how you're just deep in it now. I've been saying this for the last month or so that it needs to get better because if it continues at this kind of trajectory, United are fucked under Erik Ten Hag. Excuse my language, guys.
Honestly, man, we are effed. Oh my God.
Apparently, this is part of the process.
It's crazy.
Stubborn.
You know what's mad, yeah? Even if United don't sack him there, like, have you not steeped December?
The run of games in December.
The games in December. Just please look at December, please.
Yeah, let's look at the games in December, guys. Let's go through the games in December. Even like fucking November's pretty decent. Let's go December, guys.
November's decent.
Starting from the 1st of December, Man United versus Everton. Then Arsenal versus Man United at the Emirates. And then Man United versus Forest. By the way, this is a game every 3 days. Yeah.
3 days. I know what I'm saying to you.
This is a game every 3 days. And then Victoria Pleasant could be a win for United. I don't know.
Away.
From home. Then it's City away 3 days later. And then it's Bournemouth at home. And then it's Wolves away. And then Newcastle at home on the 30th of December. Guys.
And then what's after that?
And then Liverpool, but that's January. So that's next year's problem.
But that's still 4 days.
Next year's problem.
But can you tell me who did Man City play when we play Victoria Pilsen or something like that? That week where he said before Man City.
Oh yeah, the week of December. That will be the 6th game. In let me see. They play Juve away.
Oh.
They play Juve away. But equally so, they got Palace just before that, so they might. What's it called? They could rest. They could rest players. They can
Palace at home.
They got Palace away.
Oh.
United might be the easiest game for them out of those 3 games.
I know.
United, but that December run, it looks looks.
But that's what I keep saying. Like, we might have like a okay-ish November, yeah, and things might actually be all right, yeah. But like, it's mad when you deep it. Man United are training at Leyton Orient Stadium. Wow. We're training at the Leyton Orient Stadium, Oh, I've been to the stadium,
I've been there too. That's where the Tottenham women play there. It's right in the most randomest place.
Look at Van Nistelrooy's doing the training.
Did you see? I just want to touch on this quickly, but what is this fake outrage about Manchester City turning down Man United's request for Kobe and the Garnacho to travel? What? No, but why are people getting riled up about that? Why are people getting riled up about it?
I don't know, but I think, you know why it's fake news? Because that reporter is pro-Qatar, man. He's not.
What's that got to do with?
No, because it's true though. Because he's trying to make some stories about INEOS that can be deemed in a bad light. He was always pro-Qatar, bro.
He's making it seem like INEOS are cheapskates, but we know they're cheapskates.
Yeah, I know, but I think for me, he's done this a few times where he's made some bad press for INEOS. Like, he's known. He was literally all that throughout the whole reign. He was pro-Qatar. And the Times were pro-INEOS. Remember? They had that clash.
Because the Times is a national paper, pretty much.
What I'm saying. So that's why they were like, yo, we can't do it. So at the end of the day, I think for me, they're just doing it out of spite. That's why I don't want to believe it. And I think United fans should take it with a pinch of salt. Like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
I was just like, also, it's not unheard of. This is not, if you lot don't know what we're talking about, by the way, apparently Manchester United requested from Manchester City for Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo to travel with the Manchester City delegation for the Golden Boy Awards, for the Ballon d'Or, basically, award ceremony, on their chartered private jet, and Manchester City declined it because they said their plane is full. Now, this is not an unheard of thing, because I've seen people bring up many examples of people traveling back, for example, from international duty together, people traveling back, the Brazilian team, Brazilian players in the Premier League traveling back together to the UK on a private jet. It's not really unheard of. It's not really unheard of. I feel like people just maybe want a reason to be outraged. If you want a reason to be outraged about the fact that INEOS have kept Erik ten Hag. That's what you should be outraged about.
Facts.
And also, I'm not being funny, but if you don't want to pay for a chartered jet for them to go from, where is it? In Paris? Is the awards show in Paris?
When is it as well, by the way?
Next week, no? Ballon d'Or's, yeah, I think it's next week.
Oh, Ballon d'Or's on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you don't want to pay, if United don't want to pay for a jet for them to go there, Eurotunnel, bro. I've done it bare times. It's quick. Drive to Dover, bam, Calais.
I've not done it, I need to do that Eurotunnel.
It's quick, wallahi. Like, obviously, train is quicker. The Eurostar is way quicker to get to Paris. But if you want to drive and you want to be in the comfort of your own car, hire a sprinter, hire a driver, bam, bish, bash, bosh. I just feel like people just want to be mad about stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why for me, I'm not getting involved in these stories. Like, I've got bigger things to worry about. You know what I mean? Like, everyone can have their own outrage and do whatever they want to do, but I swear down, there's so much things going on in this world right now than be kind of concerned about a story that, you know, a news article has done just to kind of clickbait and put out headlines, you know, and just, it's there to make you go outraged and go read on it. He's done his job. Fair play.
That's it. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. But just quickly on the topic of news, obviously, what do you guys think? And this is for you, Saeed, as well. What do you think about INEOS holding secret talks with other managers behind Erik ten Hag's back right now?
I think for me, that's the only solution or the only kind of thing that I can think of that, yeah, this is what they're doing. And I think this is what, you know, is the plan. If they're not doing this, that's when we have to be very, very worried. Wallahi, we need to be seriously worried. If they're not thinking about sacking this manager and they're not doing anything behind the scenes, then that's where I'm like, shit.
Because they had secret talks apparently with Xavi 2 weeks ago. A 4-man delegation led by Amad Diallo flew out to Barcelona to see him.
You know what I need? I need this Spanish journalist to come out and say this. Like, I get Daily Mail guys. I need Spanish El Doroyas. The article, I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
I need one of these guys to pick up the news and be like, Bomba, Xavi to Man United happening. If they say it, that's when you know it's on.
When it's coming from Spanish sources.
Spanish sources. If they say it, that's when everyone can get excited. But if there's not been one article from Spain that said this, which makes me believe, like, when he's making this article, yeah, if you're making this story, yeah, Miller, and you put it on the Daily Mail Football, and there's been no truth in it, like, how dare you come back out to Man United? How did Man United then allow him into press conferences making?
No, but don't you remember? I think United only get bothered when it's like they're suggesting things about the manager's character, etc., etc. That's when they banned that guy,
Samuel Luckhurst,
Samuel Luckhurst, because he was basically making snide remarks about Erik ten Hag's character, and that's when they said, you know what, he never asked us for a comment, so we're basically going to make an example and ban him from a press conference for a week, which is fine. I hear that. But equally so, these guys, maybe they do have sources. Maybe Chris Wheeler, maybe these reporters in the English press have sources outside of maybe Manchester United. Maybe they have sources to people's agents, agencies, etc. Because a lot of football journalists do. They're very well connected. But equally saying that, I feel like if I was a football journalist, well, I could just make up a story. No one know. No one know if I'm making up the story.
Yeah, no one would know.
I could just be going off of what I think might be happening.
Well, I think, yeah. I'd be having a field day, just putting out news stories.
Making better fake news.
Yeah, hella fake news. Be like, yo, this is real. This is happening.
But out of the managers that they're linking United to, who is it? So it's Ruben Amorim, Xavi, who else?
Former Dortmund manager.
Yeah, Edin Terzic and Thomas Frank. That's the 4 names. And I said
14.
this a couple, like I said when I don't care about Thomas Tuchel because I never wanted him for United. But I was saying that the longer the United wait, the less managers that will be available because
I know.
Ruben Amorim is being eyed up for the Man City.
I don't
job
think
as
he's
well.
coming. I don't think he's coming. We're not paying the release
You don't
clause.
think so?
We're not going anywhere near that. I think that's such a. I don't know why United fans are getting excited by that. We're nowhere near Amorim. I think it's either Xavi, the Stuttgart manager,
Sebastian Hoeneß.
and maybe Thomas Frank. He might be at the end of the season, but he won't come now though.
I don't know what it is about Thomas Frank. I just think he's just not it. He's like I don't know what it is, guys. For me, it's Xavi. It's Xavi. I wouldn't mind Sebastian Hoeneß, but that's just me going off a very small sample size of Stuttgart games that I've watched.
Yeah,
maybe I need to watch Stuttgart a lot more to kind of.
They're playing now actually. 2:30. I might just
watching them midweek against Juve and tactically Stuttgart got it all right against Juve.
Yeah.
So I need to watch. But for me, if I'm looking at that list and I'm thinking, okay, who's got the biggest accolades out of all of those managers? I'm going with Xavi.
Yeah, facts.
But his style of football is quite similar, I think.
I don't think it's similar, but
not completely similar. But I think it's similar in terms of the pressing triggers, in terms of playing out from the back. But I'm hoping that he values possession more than Erik ten Hag. Because I don't think Erik ten Hag values
control. That's what we need. So for me, it's like, yeah, cool. People might, but I don't think there will ever be anything similar to this Ten Hag football. I don't think there will ever be anything similar.
Where would you rank it out of all the managers post?
I said it yesterday. He's the worst manager for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even below Moyes?
Yep.
Worse than Van Gaal?
Yes. 7-0, 3-0, 4-6-3. The goals we've conceded, the Champions League embarrassing run. Like this, so yeah, people can look at trophies. Cool, say no more. But
if you're going off of football, forget like accolades,
it's
if we're
overall
style of football,
time in the club, the way I felt as a fan, Ten Hag's the worst.
Damn. For me, I'll put him towards the bottom, but I wouldn't put him at the bottom. For me, David Moyes was the worst, but also David Moyes, I think, was just unfortunate to be the manager to replace.
Exactly.
So that's not easy.
It's not easy. So that's why I don't put blame on him too much.
It would definitely be, for me, it would be Moyes, but then after that, I think take everything into consideration, it would be Ten Hag.
There you go. So people can go on like, oh, Moyes, this and that, but really and truly, the way I felt under this manager eclipses Moyes tenfolds. Yeah. He's the worst. Exactly. Broke all the records.
And there's still more records to be broken, guys. Don't go anywhere because there's still more broken records to be what's it called? We've had a negative goal difference for 18 months. It's quite clear Ten Hag is the worst. You're doing name bias, Minna. Why am I doing name bias? I'm literally just going off of the fact that for me, David Moyes, the only thing I'll say is that replacing the manager is not easy. Like to fill Sir Alex Ferguson's boots, it's not easy. And also they did he didn't really spend a lot of money in that first window. All he brought in was Fellaini.
Look at his expectations as well. Big up Z. He was known as a good coach. And then boom, came here. 7 eras come to an end. All of this talk.
He said way too much. I can't lie. He said way too much coming into Manchester United. He didn't back up.
Aspired to be City, but he never had a kind of a positive thing to be, he didn't really, he's not a United fan, is he? So he said it from his point of view, which cool. It's never right to say, but it's not as if Ollie said that. Ollie didn't say that. If Ollie said that, they would have said, yo, that's shocking. But Moyes said it, innit?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. All right, predictions, man. West Ham game. What we say? Who do you think is going to start?
I think for me, it'll be same team. Bruno comes back in. Højlund is in. And then I reckon Casemiro starts alongside Eriksen. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund, Mazarawi, Lisandro at left back. Evans comes back in, I think. And then, Dillit. And that's the team. And Diallo.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Amad will start. I don't think he'll get into the starting lineup.
Amad will start on the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I could
baby minutes over there.
What do you think the result's going to be? I'm going with, guys, snooze fest. I'm still going 1-1 snooze fest. It's going to be a draw somehow, but I just don't know how. But it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a snooze fest.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1.
2-1. I mean, you did say 2-1 off for Brentford, and you got it right.
Yeah.
I remember laughing at you. I
Yeah.
remember laughing at you saying, "How do you think United's going to score 2 goals?"
Exactly. 2-1. I reckon we'll get it over the line.
All right, then we're going to have to wait and see, inshallah. Big up to everyone listening, guys. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Saeed, let them know what you got. You're doing a watch along for the El Clasico.
Yeah, El Clasico watch along, and then I'm going to be doing these 3 p.m. games. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm just doing it for the banter. You know what I mean? See what
the fixtures are not.
they're not. Yeah,
they're not.
Yeah, they're awful.
It's a boring weekend of football, guys. But listen, don't go anywhere. We're gonna redirect to Saeed, so when he's live, you lot can be there. Follow him on all platforms, etc., etc. I'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, with post-match content. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'm out, guys. Peace.
Come on.